So Cove had to go potty. Yesterday, no, a couple days ago, I let him out to go potty. And then I went to the bathroom. He came inside. Next morning, I was like, it's a little chilly in here. And then Cove got up and then started barking. I was like, this is kind of odd. So I got up, came in here, see what the hell was going on. And the door was open. What the fuck, Lisa? What the fuck? No. Like, Shakur actually had me buy one of these. It's a door stopper. He adjusted it just right and all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, in my own little world sometimes. He was like a watchdog on steroids. Like, seriously. Oh, it was crazy. You're so paranoid. So paranoid. I had invited him to Subway after everything was done, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done trying to cater to you. I just, whatever. Kobo, come on. But I didn't cater to him the way he wanted me to. Kobo, come here. He said I wasn't exciting. I do the same shit. I just sit there. Really, I was sitting there trying to grasp what the fuck was going on. You're accusing me of having sex with the devil. You're saying I'm constantly moving as if somebody is fucking me. Court while I'm sleeping, in the bed, in the car. All the time. He said it never stops. He would talk to him. He said there were more than one. At first he told me it wasn't, he says, not evil. Because it didn't feel aggressive. It didn't feel dominating. But it wanted it. Like, it had to have sex in order to survive. And he acted like he was competing with it. Even during sex. Like, he felt like, he would say, get off of me. Stop touching me. You know, or he'd ask me who I'm talking to. Yeah. I'd be in the room, and he'd come in, turn the light on, and ask me why I was moaning. He'd be in the other room and say, oh, I hear that pussy. They really getting in that. Oh, one time, oh my God. It was toward the end. I was just like, what the fuck? This is, for a while, he had me convinced. A little bit. Because my stepmom told me one time that during my very first deep depression, where I had my hair turned gray. You see me now? My hair's gray. A lot of my hair's gray. And that was new. Because I had went to school with a girl named Rachel. And she was my dorm room RA. It was RA. So she knew me. 21, 22, 21. No, I was 21. I had mental breakdown when I was 23. I saw her after I got better. I saw her later. And I asked her, did I have all this gray in my hair? She said, no. 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 So in 2 years, my hair turned gray. Yeah. That's why I really don't like growing it out either. You know, I would like to grow it out. I really would. It just doesn't grow right. When I grow it, and it splits. So you can see the back of my neck. Right here, it's like a circle. My hair goes straight. That's why I cut it this way, so it lays straight. I just brush it forward and go like this. And go. That's it. It's awesome. So my hair's wanting to stay up right there for some reason. But yeah, people ask me if I intentionally dyed my hair because it's short. Come on, stop it. It looks more like streaks. But if it's long, gray hair doesn't look good in long hair unless it's streaky. But gray hair is not like a streak. But since it's so short, they show a lot more. So it looks streaky. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, I left the door open. Shakur Oh, oh, toward the end, right? Toward the end, it was funny. So funny. So he said, yeah, I can hear that pussy all the way back here. So one time I said, fuck it. You know what, wait? I'm just gonna fuck with this dude because I was tired. I was just tired of it. It was mentally draining. And I'm like, no, it's not real. I knew it wasn't real because I asked somebody. I did. I asked somebody because he kept saying, you're moving, blah, blah, blah. But nobody's really been next to me besides him. So when I went to, I was at my job and I know I'm jumping subjects. I was at my job and this lady, I sat next to her. We do exercises. I work in a skilled nursing facility. Or did. I worked in the skilled nursing facility. And I sat on her bed and she was sitting on her bed and I was sitting next to her. So our thighs, our side thighs were touching, you know, and she had been seeing things. They were changing her medications and she had a UTI. UTIs are very known for seeing illusions. She said she kept seeing animals, and she said she sees stuff out the window, or she said she saw a woman in yellow standing at the bottom of her bed. So yeah, but anyway, but she particularly said, I see what did she say? I see something dark behind you. So I asked her, I'm like, do you feel me moving? She said, no, you're not moving. So I explained to her, that's your core. He can't even sit on the same bed. Like he was sitting all the way over there. And he said the bed is moving. I can feel it moving. When he's next to me, he thinks he can feel somebody pulling me. And I'm going with it. His big thing was, I just want to be included. I just want to be included. But I'm like, you're the only one here. Oh my god. Anyway, so I was fucking with him, right? So, I was in the living room. I put that bed in there. It's covered in sticks. Kobe brought sticks in and got on the bed. And I didn't put a sheet on there. So I can't just take it off. I have to pick it all up. Lisa, make this so difficult for yourself. Seriously. Anyway, I didn't care about that mattress anyway. They fucked on that mattress. I couldn't come in this room because of that mattress. And just, it was her room. No, bitch, this is my house. And you're not even paying rent. No. She dropped out of school. He must have sold her a big dream. Yep. She was okay with it. She's evil. She come off sweet. The girls have issues. And so does he. They belong together. He shipped her back. Yeah. But no car. Because he ran into a median. Ripped the bottom of it. Anyways. My mind going everywhere. Okay. Back to, I was in the living room. And I was just fucking with him, right? He's like, I can hear that pussy, blah, blah. He said all the time. And he'd be in the other room. The back room. So Kovu, he was playing with me. And Kovu loves to lick. Okay, Kovu loves to lick. So Kovu was licking all up and down my arm. And I was just letting him. And he was like, shit. I can hear that all the way over here. Yes, you can. Because that is real. That is actually happening in the now. Oh my god. was hilarious. I just let him. He just kept licking. I'm just like, yeah, I know. And he hated when I had covers on. He's like, they hide under there. And he's always sitting there moving. And he actually recorded me. He recorded me laying there. I wasn't asleep. He had the light on. Even though the light changed colors, it was like a purple. But it was still on. So I had the cover over my head. And I had my weighted blanket on that my mom bought me. That my massage therapist suggested when I had my central nervous system breakdown. Or dysregulated. I don't know if it happened at that moment. But I had a reaction. Yes, I did. My whole body vibrated. My hands, I just stared. I just stared down at my hands. I just did. It's like when you hold a vibrator. Everybody's held a vibrator. When you hold a vibrator, something that vibrates, that's what it felt like. And then she told me, you're safe. You're safe here. And I just started crying. It wasn't like a bawl. It wasn't like a sad. I wasn't crying. But my tears started to come through my eyes. Which is the exact same thing happened when Sam held me. It was weird. He held me. I've never been held like that. But he turned out not to be what I... No. He's a good person. Let's just put it that way. He's a good person. But he held me in such a way, I don't know what it was. But he gave me a safe space. And tears just started pouring down my eyes. I was just laying there and they were just pouring. And I was not crying. I was not crying. I was actually quite comfortable because I was being held. But tears just poured down my eyes. It was crazy. I was like, this is a weird experience. And my body started hurting. Oh my God. Gradually, and then my wrists, my hands, my ankles, my feet, the bottom of my feet. And then I already hurt from my injury. And they just got more intense. And then I bought so many ice packs. Like for every part of your body. Oh, my arms. Yes, my arms. Both arms. It didn't matter. My arms. Like nerve pain, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I was going to get 2 arms, wrists, hands, fingers, ankle, foot, back. Yeah, my hips naturally hurt, so that was what it is. But anyway, I put Icy Hot on. I put Icy Hot on so much, Nicholas wouldn't even go in the room. Or he complained. Yeah, you put too much Ice Hot on. I didn't give a shit. And he didn't try to help me. I asked him one time to massage my hands and my wrists because I couldn't do it. I could not close my hands. I could not do this. This is what I tried to hold. This is what I tried to hold. This is what I gave you. Okay? See how big this is? Yeah. I couldn't hold that for like 10 seconds. I was like, take it. And I handed it to him. Like, I couldn't hold that. I couldn't hold dumbbells. Yeah. In physical therapy. I couldn't hold those. I couldn't grip it. I could only do this. And my hands would cramp. And it was like in my bones. And in my... It was deep. You know what I mean? It hurt. Like, it just was bad. So I couldn't. At first when we... I don't know if I should include that. But... He wanted me to touch him. Okay? I couldn't even put my hands around it. But he was very big. He's the biggest I've been with. He said I acted like a virgin. I'm like, boy, no. I don't know. Maybe. It was just, no. He caused me pain. He caused me a lot of pain. No. I told him, it makes me not want to do it. It's painful. He said it's supposed to be painful. No, it's not. No, it's not. Then my guts were cramping. No. Why would you want to do that? If that's the result, no. And I didn't even get what I wanted out of it. So, no. Even though you made me wet everywhere. Like, it was crazy. I stood up, felt like I peed all over the floor. And the blanket. More than one time. But I did not feel like I had satisfying sex. I didn't feel that way. I'm just like, why is my body doing this? What the fuck? I didn't like it. If I got something out of it, then yeah, you did a great job. But no, don't pat yourself on the back. He said that's supposed to happen. Okay. Well, make it stop. Make it stop. I made a stain in my mattress. No. We stopped having sex after that. But it was mainly because he didn't care about my pain. I was like, I don't want you to cause me more pain. I'm already in pain. I don't want you to cause me more pain. And then I asked him to massage my hands and my wrists. And he wouldn't. He said, that's your lifeline. And I could kill you. And I don't want to. I don't want to do that to you. So he would not massage. Not even touch. No. My hands and my wrists. Or anything. Any part of my body. But I asked him specifically. And I asked him twice. First time he refused. It was like a week or so. A week later or whatever. And I asked him again. And he said the same thing. No. I gave this motherfucker a place to stay. Yeah. I had no intention on dating him. No. I had no intention on dating him. But he was living in his car. He had no money. He was complaining that I didn't shower. He was sleeping with a gun on his lap because he was paranoid. He was fried. He was fried when he got to my house. I made him sleep in this room. I slept with Kobu. About 5 a.m., he came in the room. I was awake. I wasn't able to sleep. Like now, what time is this? Like 12:30. I gotta get to bed. My IME appointment's tomorrow. Anyway, so he came in the room. It was like 5 a.m. He sat down. He said, I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm gonna go. I said, no, you're not. But when he got here, I got him a sandwich. He took a shower. He smelled awful. He took a shower. We hung out a little bit. He put some icy hot on my back. Bengay. Not icy hot. That's the only time he did it. Only time. He was here 3 weeks. That's the only time he did it. Made him sleep in here. Went in there at 5:30 a.m. He's like, I'm gonna go. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. I said, you have to stop running. You have to stop running. He said, I've been running for 15 years. So you have to stop. I know you don't want to, but you have to stop and lay your ass down. So I'm not going to take no for an answer. So he slowly got up, took his clothes off. Not off. You know, he had a sweater, a hoodie, you know. He was ready to leave. So he laid down and I held him. He was very tense. He was very frazzled. Very frazzled. And I tried to walk him through meditation. At first, my phone was dead, I think. And his was. And I couldn't get something to charge. And so we were laying there in silence. And that just wasn't. So I finally was able to get the music playing. And I put on healing frequencies. Healing frequencies. It was suggested to me. And that's what I've been listening to. It seems to help. I go to sleep with it. There's one particular one that I use. Anyway, so I put that on. And then, you know, calm his breathing and told him to hold your breath and blah, blah, blah. And yeah. But toward the end, all I did was our agreement. My agreement was I said, you can come and stay with me because I live in a house by myself with my dog. It's a 2-bedroom and I had 2 beds. So this room was just chilling here with a bed. And here you are sleeping in your car with a gun on your lap. You know what I mean? And he has health issues. Like, seriously. He said he can't go to a shelter because he has health issues. His lungs. He has bad lungs. And he's half blind in one eye, I think. But anyway, but toward the end, our agreement was if you move into this house, then you have to promise me you are going to try. You're going to try to get back up on your feet. Try. He said, okay, I will. Bet. He applied for apartments. He had taken a program to help pay the first month's rent and the security deposit so he'd be able to move in. But he also was dealing with his health. He had appointments. And his job was on hold. But they gave him a good reference. And they were changing. He's a security guard for Nike. But they were changing locations. So there was something up in the air about that. And then there was another thing that he was going to do. And he talked about he just had to do the orientation. I'm like, okay. All that boy did was sleep. That's all he did. Sleep. Reinforced my bad habit of sleeping. So I would sleep all day. So 3 weeks I wasted. When I really tried to act like I got into my certified personal trainer course. But I didn't even get past the first chapter. I was uncomfortable. I didn't have a chair. I needed a chair. And now that I have a chair, I haven't done anything. I just feel like I'm stuck or I'm waiting on something or I don't know. I think it's all coming together though. Because I purchased a program where you can create your own ebooks. So I can create my own books. I saw somewhere that you can make your own app. I'm joining up with a lady, Kelly Coach. Kelly, I don't know. It's a workshop of how to be authentic in coaching. That one. Because I want to come off as authentic. You know what I mean? I want to come off that way because that's who I am. But people don't know me. They don't know me from Adam. No. Why should I talk to this girl? Why should I listen to her? Well, I've been there, for one. If you can't sleep, if you have thoughts that just doesn't go away, if your central nervous system is dysregulated, your guts cramp, everything. It's just crazy. I bought cornbread hemp. That's the website. And they sell CBD THC supplements. 50 milligrams of CBD, 2 milligrams of THC. And after I took it that night, it came in the evening or something, I don't know. Then I took it the next day. I was able to close my hands. I was like, oh my God. Yes. It wasn't natural. It wasn't like, oh, I'm relieved. I can close my hands. No, it wasn't all that. It took a long time for me to actually not have any pain, closing it closer and closer. But I can close them a little more. I was able to hold something a little longer. Like, something was happening. It wasn't as intense. You know what I mean? But halfway through, like I did it for a month. But like a couple weeks in, it really didn't have the same effect. I still was in pain. You know what I mean? Like, my joints weren't getting any better. My wrists, you know, my ankles, but on my feet, they just tingle now. They don't feel like I have plantar fasciitis anymore. My arms don't hurt no more. I remember that. My arms. But it still hurt. My shoulder, my scapular, it still hurts. It hurts. But anyway, I wouldn't hurt as bad if I did my exercises. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell them that. But Andrea, the RN that's assigned for comp, she gave me some good pointers. You know, not just, she said, you know, you need to carve out. She said, you need to carve out 30 minutes. Dedicate that to physical activity, including your PTA exercise, home exercise program, which I have not done. No. One of my favorites was on the side of the bed, but you have to hang your arm down. Well, the mattress is on the floor. I took the mattress out of there, my door, or my room. I need to bring that. See if they can help me. I have a bed frame that I can put under this. That way I can do my exercises. Yeah, because that was my favorite, because you have to hang your arm down and you have to go up and move your arm forward or out or back. I liked it. Yeah, it made me feel better. And I was watching Derek Jackson. I just found out that he purposely spelt his last name like that. That's not how it's spelled. It's not I don't even know how to say it. Jackson, Jackson. I don't know. But it's actually Jackson. Jackson. Like, he was just being creative. Kudos. But it makes it so complicated. I don't know how to pronounce it sometimes. Or spell it. I'm trying to look him up. But, what was I saying about him? I watch a lot of his stuff. What was the topic? I wish I could rewind this. My mind, my stepmom calls it rabbit trails. That's what we do. It's called a rabbit trail. Maybe it's a bipolar thing. Because she's bipolar. And we do that. We talk about something, then we talk about something else, but we come back to what we were talking about. Yes, we talk rabbit trails. Like, yes, but now I don't remember what I was talking about. Shit. Oh. Anyway, I'm excited about the coaching from the lady. What else about another program that you connect with people? I don't even remember. They were good though. They were all different. Everything I really needed. If you wanted to be an entrepreneur on social media, as an educator, or a connector, I got all the programs. Now I just got to study them on top of my homework that I had to extend again. I only got 3 months now, and they roughly estimate it takes 2.3 months to get through that whole thing, that whole course. Certified personal trainer course. And I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. I just got to do it. I don't know what is stopping me. I don't know if I'm just got to the point that I got to put all these pieces together of how I'm going to do it. Now I got them all. I kind of feel a little better. So now I can, I think I was postponing education because I wanted to write it down, but I don't want to write it down on paper like I always do. I have so many notes. Like, people would learn from me. If you want to read my notes, yes. I wrote 85 pages 85 pages off of the training that I watched on video for being a private money lender for real estate investors. 85 pages. Yes. Nicole always said, you were always good note taker. Like, yeah, I learned it from Miss McCollum. She was our science teacher, biology. She did other sciences too, but I even took her class when I was in senior year. There was like 4 or 5 of us. Everybody else quit. It was advanced biology. I really liked her, and I really liked the subject. I like anatomy. So it was just me and her. So she actually taught me college level. So I actually got a college credit in that class. Nicole said, yeah, she was a bitch. She could be. She could. She could be. But I liked her. She's the first person I saw, you know, if you wipe burgers or if you wipe something off your child or you have something on your hand, right? And you don't want to wipe it on your clothes. She wipes it at the cuff of her pants by her heel. I've never seen anybody do that before. And I never did after either. I've never seen that. Either like, or they wipe it on the pants or whatever. No, she purposely puts it down by her heel. But she was a good note taker. She would put notes on it was old school. Old school. She had written them out by hand. And they were transparent. And she put this on this projector. And it would shine it up onto the white sheet that you pull down. Canvas. And she would project them on there. She'd position it just right. But I wrote so slow. Oh, I wrote so slow. So I'd sit in the front. Right by the machine. And she would hand them to me. So I could finish writing so she could move on to the next slide. But she would hand them to me. Yeah, so I could finish. But that's how I learned how to take notes. Yep. So I was wanting to put my notes in a form that I could sell. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sell note paper. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to sit down and read all this notes. No, but if you put it in an ebook, or if you put it in a webinar, or if you put it, you know what I mean? Not just write it down. I write it down and then what? It just sits there. All that knowledge that I wrote down, it sits there. Just sits there. Nobody else learns from it. What a waste. I think I had like 5 or 6 binders. It was in college. Binders. 5 or 6. Yeah. I made a lot of copies, everything. It's all in Kansas. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I was getting to that. But I think that's why I've been procrastinating. But I need my computer. That's why I've also, I think, been procrastinating. Should be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, March 12th. Today, I guess you say. I don't even know what time it is. I don't have my watch on. Today's March 12th, 2025. My IME appointment. So, I was praying. To God, please let my IME appointment go well. Whatever you do, don't let them cut off my work comp benefits. I still need their help paying my bills because I'm not healed. I can't do what I used to do. And it's saddening. Even securing people's legs while they did leg exercises or trying to help them, or especially if they were dead weight. The lady was paralyzed. I was trying to do passive range of motion on her leg. Usually supposed to do 2 sets of 10 of each. I could do 1 set of 10. I think I tried to do a couple. But yeah, it was just too much. It hurt too much. And I didn't have the strength, which is my fault because I haven't been doing my PT. I even lectured with the lady. Like, I don't practice what I preach. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. And I know this. Lisa, get in the game. Okay? Come on. Once you get your laptop, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You gotta listen to Derek. That's what it was. You gotta listen to Derek while I was watching Glow Up. Glow Up. How to glow up. And what I'm missing is me physically nurturing myself. That's what I'm missing. I'm nurturing my brain. That's what I'm nurturing. That's what I lost. My short-term memory. I couldn't retain information. I couldn't. If you asked me, because I started studying, I was so excited about starting this course, Certified Personal Trainer course. I was so excited. Oh my God, everything was hitting the fan. I just got hurt. You know, everything, the whole Monty and Leah and court and my job and everything was in the air. And I just got hurt. And it got offered to me. And I was excited. I was so excited. And I got it out and I started studying. Or I went to bed. Well, the next day, I didn't remember anything I studied. Like, I really didn't. I could not retain information. So that's what I've been doing this whole time, 4 months or whatever, trying to fill my brain with knowledge of what's happening to me. You know, why do I feel this way? You know, all this stuff. And then my heart was broke. Felt like my spirit was shattered. That's what it felt like. My spirit was shattered. And it wasn't just because of a guy. No, it was work. It was my performance at work. Because I just wasn't there. I was like just delusional. My boss said, you know, your safety awareness is very concerning. She kept telling me that. But I was trying. I was trying. My DUI. The fact that you have to tell the PTA board that you got a DUI, which I haven't done. 10 days. 10 days after you get evicted or whatever. You're supposed to tell them. I told Jean that. Jean said, just say you wrote a letter and you just didn't hear back from them. If they say something to you. So I'm going to write up a letter and I'm going to date it. Like, yeah, I mailed this to you and you just didn't say anything. I wanted to explain my situation and I didn't want to have to waste your time on the phone. Simple as that. So no, they don't know. But I also don't really need that job now. I really don't need that job now. That's thanks to God. Thank you, Lord. But anyway, I didn't feel that way at the time. I didn't. I felt my life was slipping away. I was going to lose my career. My career. And my driver's license. And something that could put me in jail. I told myself I'd never repeat it. And they held it against me the whole time. Yeah, when you have too much cortisol on your brain, it affects your decision making and your short-term memory. My decision making was horrible. Horrible. That's why Monty thought I was stupid. Yeah, because I was. But it all started when you brought that girl in the house. But now looking back, it had to happen. Because I'm not passionate about something unless it happens to me. Like I try to get passionate with Plexus, the supplements, you know, and they work great. I could feel them working within me. You know, I had irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah. Or constipation or something. I had issues with my bowels. I don't have a gallbladder anymore, which can affect that. You're not supposed to eat certain things, but I've never been having to monitor whatever I eat. I've never had to. But it was just, I've gone through like a irritable bowel syndrome, is like when you go and it's really watery all the time. And then I converted to constipation, which you can't go. So I took their probiotic and their BioCleanse, and I was able to go. Their probiotic has a lot of strains in it, and they're like scientifically studied and all this stuff. And the pink drink, it's known for weight loss. But I was this size. You know, I wasn't big anymore. And I hadn't got big yet. Because it was stupid. Oh my God. I gained so much weight. I ate protein powder. Way too much protein powder. I blew up in like 3 weeks. I got to 160 pounds. I was slim and fit and everything when I went into that program. Yeah. Anyway, but at the time I was not chunky. So when I talk about the pink drink to people and say weight loss or even suggest weight loss, like, you know, people can be critical. Like, are you trying to tell me I'm fat? Why are you suggesting this? You know, but if I was overweight and I say, yeah, it helps you with weight loss, you look at you know, and be like, oh, well, you look good. Cool. What is that? You know, I may put in, you know, I'd like to try that. But since I was not that, I think it gave off a wrong impression. So I couldn't relate to Plexus. I really couldn't. And I really didn't understand it. You know, I can't tell you this product is awesome because it worked for me. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why is it awesome? Just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. What's in it? And what do they do? What is the components? What's the ingredients? And they have all that information, but I did not know it. But this, I know. Because it happened to me. Yeah, that's the whole reason I went into physical therapy to begin with, was to help myself. I was tired of going to physical therapy all the time. But if I became a physical therapist, then I could just do it on my own. I would know exactly what to do. But they didn't teach us that. That's why I did 4 clinical rotations. You had to pick a neuro one. You had to pick an inpatient one. And you had to pick a outpatient. And you had one extra. I should have done nursing home. I should have done a nursing home because that's where I ended up, was a nursing home. I should have done a nursing home. But I did do shadowing. And I didn't learn really much. Anyway, but I chose outpatient because that's how you treat. That's where I went. I went to outpatient. So I want to learn what they are teaching me so I can do it myself. I went there. They didn't teach me anything. The only thing I saw that was like memorable was another therapist that was working with a patient, and he had an ankle weight on this guy's leg. The guy had a total knee surgery, and he would do a pendulum. He would just let it float. He'd just do a pendulum with a weight on it. And I'm like, that is cool. That is very nifty. I never seen anything like that the whole time with that guy. And the only thing I saw was a frozen shoulder. And he didn't even let me do that. Otherwise, it was just stepping people through exercises. Like, things that you could just look up. You're not teaching me anything, you know. It was frustrating. And then the other one that was outpatient, and it was actually because I had nowhere to go. I had stayed in the dorm. I stayed there. So I had a place to stay. And it was in town. Well, all I did was massages. I massaged people's asses. That's all I remember doing. Everybody had hip problems. And they all had manual treatment. So, or ultrasound. There was a guy with the total knees, and she's the one that showed me how to mold them a little bit. But no, they didn't give me any athletes. They didn't give me, you know, I didn't learn anything. Like, I know how to massage. Yes. That actually was a big thing in our class. People would actually stay after and massage each other. Every day, it seemed like. I never stayed. I just went back and I studied. No. I was like second to oldest. Everyone was like in the teens, 20s. I was 30. So, no. But yes, I know how to do that. So I didn't learn anything. So I went into nursing home. You know, again, because I was a CNA for 10 years. I was a CNA for 10 years. So I just went back to what I knew. But I didn't know what I needed to know. And now working with Stephanie, I was learning things, but she's so busy she can't teach me. These are things that I was supposed to learn, you know, or I was supposed to see from other people. And I've never seen that. Like my first PTA job is I moved here, Newburgh. I applied to Oregon. I didn't know shit about Oregon. I just wanted to be around the Portland area. I knew because Tigard. So I was talking to the CNA one night on our shift, and she told me about Tigard and how in that area there's waterfalls and nature trails and lots of trees and rivers. I was there. Say less. So yes, I applied to Oregon, this area. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know shit. That's all I knew. Never been here before in my life. Well, I got accepted a job in Newburgh, Oregon, which I am now. I love this town. This is where my favorite park is. And there's really no homeless people or drugs. And they take care of you. Yamhill County takes care of their residents. Because I am in Yamhill County, I have OHP. I was in Salem. When I was in Salem, I had Pacific Source. Pacific Source doesn't pay shit. And they weren't even going to let me stay with my primary care. I was going to have to get a different primary care doctor. But since I moved to Newburgh, I got OHP through Oregon Oregon Health Plan. And they pay for my prescriptions. I'm allowed to stay with my primary care doctor. I got a bill from there. But I think it's from earlier when I had Blue Cross Blue Shield, which didn't pay shit. They wanted $3,500 for a deductible. And I'm paying you. Why am I paying you? Like, whatever. And then I have Pacific Source, so that's probably where the bill came from. But usually, I go to the chiropractor. And she has a massage therapist there. For free. For free. God is good. The library is just 0.8 miles. It takes me, I think it said 13 minutes. 13 minutes to walk there. The chiropractor is about the same distance. It's right across the street. Physical therapy is actually right across the street. The other direction. Yeah. It's a circle. You go down one way. It's a one-way street this way and a one-way street that way. So the library, chiropractor, physical therapy. I walk there. And then if you walk all the way down that way, about a mile from my house, is Ewing Park, which is my favorite nature trail. And they have a dog park there. And they offer transportation. Since my driver's license is suspended for a year, I don't have car insurance anymore due to lack of payment, which I didn't even know. I thought it was on auto pay, but it said it had canceled, and I had still be driving. Like, I didn't check it. So I stopped after I realized it. But yeah, I didn't have insurance, and I was driving. And then I have to renew my registration. It's $136. So yeah, they offer transportation. So I'll be able to get transportation tomorrow. I'll be ready by 10:15, which I should be in bed. I've been talking for almost an hour. I told you, see, I just be talking. But yeah, My appointment's at 11:45. So, Lord, please don't let them cut off my benefits. I just need to keep a roof over my head, my electricity on. Thank you so, Lord, for Love Inc. The max they will pay is $300. My bill is $700 something. But last time I paid was in December, and I paid $10. And they put me on a plan. It's March 12th. And they said that they could do it again. So, God is good. I've been able to pay my trash bill. It's not that much, but they haven't got me a waste container yet. I called them. We had talked about it, and I was supposed to have one. And I said, hey, can you come pick it up? And they were charging me for a glass container. So I don't need that. And they were charging me for it. So I said, you need to pick that up. That's been sitting there since January, I think. I think it's still out there. I just never said anything. But I realized I didn't have a waste yet. Because I need to start picking up Kobo's poop. And all the other dogs are here. Especially because the mower's coming. I don't need him stepping in shit. I have to do that. I just got an email from my landlord saying mowing's going to start every other week. Cool. But anyway, I didn't have a waste container, and I need to start picking that up. So I was like, I don't have a waste container. And she said, wow, that was back in January. Yeah. I said, have you been charging me this whole time for that? She said, no, that's just part of it. I'm like, okay. So I have a recycling bin, and I have a regular trash can, and I have a recycle for yard waste. Just keep my phone and internet on, Lord. I have to have the phone and internet. Otherwise, I'm not going to be successful at all. I have to have that. That's my source. I thought my source was also going to be group for my DUI. But no, it's all virtual. The fuck? Apparently, the classes that I have to take for 13 weeks is a group. That's a class. I thought it was two different things, which is awesome, which is less things I have to do. But I wanted to go to a group because then it's local and everybody has pets. Or they want to get one, or they know somebody who has a dog, or they know somebody who has a bird, or I didn't even think about that. I need to add that to my website. A bird. He said they're very... There's a lot to them, put it that way. Because I said, how much will you charge to watch a bird? I don't know how he said it, but apparently they can be a lot of work. They can, I guess. So maybe the $35, just like I charge for an animal. I said $15 for a reptile, and $5 or $10 for a fish, because they're in cages. You know, they're in aquariums, whatever. I just feed them or whatever. But they're not like a dog. You know, dog gets hair everywhere, and they shit and they piss in your house, and you need to take them for a walk, which I haven't. I've been injured, and the dogs that I walk pull on you. Kobo doesn't pull that much, or I get after him and he slows down, or if I just take him off the leash and he's just right there. He goes a little bit, he stops, and then he waits for me, and then, you know, whatever, or he stands close to me. So no, I haven't been taking him on a walk, and I really neglect that part. But yeah, it would have been good. It would have been good. But I did see through the Love Inc. what they offer. You can go to a church. If you want a community, that's what it says. If you want to get involved with a community, go to this church. So that can be another thing. But yeah, I was hoping for a group. I was. Because we'd all be there for the same reason. You know, in a church, you just kind of, I'm still a wallflower in a church. But in a group, we're all there for a reason. We all got shit on. We all did something wrong. You know, something. We all learned stress, which would be awesome because I'm going to be a wellness coach. You know what I mean? If I get that connection, whatever. But I do offer mental health through there. And I told her that, like, last time I was offering mental health, behavioral health, therapy, it just didn't feel like a safe place to me. It just didn't. So I never went back. And I said, you know, you can talk to anybody. You can talk to anybody, but I'm sure there's more skilled people that can step you through it. You know what I mean? But you can physically talk to anybody. If you want to vent about something, you can talk to them. And you feel a little better. You know, you don't really have the maybe proper direction, but you feel better. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything. So I said, you know, that was the issue. Like, I didn't have $380 to get a medical card. Or marijuana medical card. I haven't had my omeprazole for a couple days. And this doesn't help. But anyway, I don't know what I'm getting at. I think I've cleared all my thoughts. I was supposed to do brain dumping today. Oh, you'll be able to see in my journal. But I came across memories. Okay, in Facebook, there's memories. Well, there was a memory in there that was about Christian Covington. I dated him back during my first mental breakdown when I was 23, when my hair turned gray. I met him, and we hung out a lot, and we broke up. Well, there was a post about this song, and I said, this song looks like it was made for me, and I tagged him in it, and it was a song about I shouldn't have let you go type of song. Which is hilarious, because my best friend Ashley, she just broke up with him. And I didn't even know she knew him, and they had been dating for 2 years, because I hadn't talked to him. Because last time it was dated March 13th, 2014. It is March. Today is 14th. No. 11. Anyway, it was March 11th. Because yesterday, it was March 11th, 2013. Yeah. March 11th, 2013. Today is March 11th, 2025. So during that time, they met. Somehow. I didn't introduce them. And she just broke up with him today. They never were together. He always said, I don't want to be in a relationship. Blah, blah, blah. And she said, you know, you've been telling me this forever. And it's my fault I didn't listen. He just wanted the girlfriend, but he did not want the label. And I don't think he was messing around. He only messed around because she told him that she did. But they weren't together. He would not put a label on it. They were not together. But then a week later, he did it. But claimed he was drunk. Anyways, a lot of more shit happened after that. But he still holds that honor. Anyway, so the post said, you know, it was talking about, you know, I shouldn't have let you go. I should have treated you right. You know, I should have done this. I should have done that when I had you. It was that song. So I sent it to him through Messenger. I said, Ashley, I need to send this to Christian. I have to. It'd just be the icing on the cake. You got dumped. Basically, we just need to be friends. You got dumped today. And then your ex from before, that you even liked that post. You liked it. That you shouldn't have let get away. Sent you something to remind you of it. On the same day. All he did was give it a thumbs up. I just laughed. I said, LOL. I'm sure he will never respond. But anyway. And then what was I on? I was on another social media website. Instagram, maybe? I don't know. But I had made a screenshot of, I had posted on Facebook the day Monty got to my house. I had never met him before in my life. The day I met him was the day he moved into my home. Yeah. I don't even recognize that girl anymore. But yeah. So it was March 11th, 2014. So an exact year. Crazy. All of this on the same day. It was memories. You know what I mean? And it said, location, where the home is where the heart is. That's what I put. And then the caption said, I can't believe God created a man just for me. So I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to Monty, who had been blowing up my phone already. He was blowing up my phone through Snapchat. I had blocked him, all this stuff. I've changed my number. I've told him to leave me the fuck alone, blah, blah, blah. He created a new Snapchat and added me. That's how I found out that Shakur was telling lies on me. But anyway, he watches my story. He does. He's like usually the second or third person that looks at it. And he watches the whole thing. Sometimes there's like 5 different things on there. He watches the whole thing. And he Snapchatted me today 4 times. I didn't answer. I don't even want to give him the satisfaction that I took the time to even open it. Not read it. Open it. Because you can tell on there. Open, delivered, whatever. It'll tell you. It even tells you if you took a screenshot. The thing be nosy as fuck. Telling your business. Because I take screenshots of everything. I like memories. I like to remember. I like to go back and reminisce and be like, yeah, this is why I didn't like you. This is the way you talked to me. You know, I didn't really show anybody. It was just for me. But he hates when you tell people his business. 10 years. Never once put a hand on me. Until he found out I was talking about him. He slapped me 5 times. 5 times. Made my ear ring. Yeah. He hates it. So I took a screenshot of that too. Anyway, so I sent a screenshot of this. You know, it was me and him. We were at the zoo. That's where we went. The first time he came, that's where I took him. I took him to the zoo. He was very attractive. That's what got me. Oh, he's very attractive. To me, he's very attractive. I'll give him that. But his heart is evil. His heart is evil. He has a lot of demons. Lots of demons. He can have it. You can have that. I don't need that. Anyway, so I sent it to him. And I said, look what I came across. I said, I was highly mistaken. Because it said, God made this man just for me. And this man brought another female into my home. Yeah. I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, and I said, I don't even recognize that girl. He wrote back, if you say so. And then he wrote back 4 more times and I didn't answer. So I have no idea. I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of telling him that I opened it. And then when I go back, he had deleted them. He always does. If I don't look at it, because I looked at it because I sent him that picture. I really wasn't ever going to plan on looking at it. But I saw that picture and I had to send it to him. I just had to. Like, yeah, you lost a good one. You did. Just like Christian, you lost a good one. Twice. Me and my best friend. No, we are rare. We are very rare. Pure-hearted people are rare. Anyway, it was hilarious. So I don't know what he said. I'm sure he's deleting them. I just have notifications on my phone. But I go pee. And I've been talking for an hour. Be interesting to watch though. Yeah. Good night.